Hi Pisces, welcome to your February 2025 AstroTarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. I just want to say thank you so much for continuing to be a part of Radiant Reality. If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose, and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are before we start, remember, if you are wondering what calculations I use, I am using whole sign tropical Western astrology for those of you that would like to know. If I ever forget the dates or the degrees, you'll find that stuff in the description box below. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So I'm going to give these a shuffle now. Ooh, all right. And I'll put that there. And I'm going to pop these here. Alright, and I'm going to give these a shuffle. So on the 7th of February, the first... I also wanted to say happy damn birthday to you. I truly hope you have a wonderful solar return. If you are celebrating your solar return, your birthday this month, and you are a February born Pisces, I truly hope you have a fantastic and a wonderful day. With that said, let's get straight into it. So on the 7th of February, Mars retrograde in the sign of Cancer in your 5th house of joy, pleasure, romance, creativity. Your self-expression is the 5th house, and your inner child or children, if you have them, is going to trine Saturn, so the energy planet of energy, action, passion, war, challenge, crisis, willpower is going to trine Saturn, the planet of rules, regulations, discipline, structure, determination, delayed gratification. Mars trine Saturn across the 1st and the 5th house as well, I might add. Mars trine Saturn anyway is resilience, right? It absolutely brings a really strong sense of resilience. For those of you and the fact that this is happening in water signs and one of those is in your sign, this is giving you an incredible emotional fortitude, right? It's helping you brighten your outlook by understanding how much personal power you have, how much agency you have for yourself and for your life, and how much willpower, providing you're willing to dig for it, because Mars is retrograde at the moment, you actually have available to you at this moment in time. Now, for this connection across the 5th and the 1st house and the 5th house, the 1st house is you. It's your identity. It's your outlook. Now, I want you to think back to this because Mars has been here for a while, right? And I want you to think back to around the 11th of October of 2024. What was happening for you at that time around your self-expression, around pleasure and romance, around your a personal outlook, right? What was going on for you at that time? This is helping you reassess how you express your individuality, how you engage your passions, maybe helping you decide and define and discover what your passions actually are. Whether this is in a creative project, whether it's a romantic connection, how you allow yourself to play, to find joy. This transit really is about helping you define what really fulfills you personally, Pisces. In the trine to Saturn, it's strengthening your sense of purpose and your sense of self-discipline. It's helping you take ownership of your happiness and helping you really sort of say to yourself, actually, this is what I want for myself in the long run. This time, this period, this transit is really all about creating something meaningful, but something sustainable, whether that's in your personal projects, whether it's in your relationship. Remember, in order to get the rock, honey, in order to get the rock on your finger, you got to go out and date. Right? You have to go out there. You got to kiss a few frogs. You got to make a few mistakes. You got to maybe have your heart bruised a little bit. Maybe have your other parts bruised a little bit as well in the process, darling. Right? I lie? I'm telling you truth. Come on now, right? You got to get out there. You've got to enjoy life. That's what this transit is also helping you do, but it's helping you discover what that actually is, whether it's in your personal projects, whether it's your relationships, or even in the way that you approach joy in your own life. If you have children and they have been a little bit of a source of challenge for you, this might be a time where you start sort of reaffirming your boundaries and your place as the parent. And it gets easier to do that, right? Where maybe, let's say, like if you've had challenges with it, or if you've struggled with that sort of discipline instilling in them, etc., this could be where that becomes a lot easier. Now for this, you've got the Fool card, new things, places, people and energies. You've got this with the Strength card. Looks like Pisces is going for a new body as well. Some healthy competition, maybe a hobby or two, right? You've got this with the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is usually an air sign woman, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. This is also about what you fight for. And what this tells me is there are opportunities coming in for you to fight for your creative vision. It tells me that there are moments coming in that are going to allow you to really shine, and you are going to have to take the initiative to really put yourself forward. This could especially be in the realms of things like interviews and stuff like that as well, especially also around finances, because Mars for you rules your second house of money, finances and resources, also rules your 9th house as well, and Saturn for you rules your 12th house and your 11th. So there's definitely an element here of, this affecting or enhancing what you get from your work in some way. Okay, on the 9th, 10th of the month, Mercury is going to go Cazimi in the sign of Aquarius in your 12th house. This could be a decidedly very spiritual moment for you, Pisces, right? This is the sun illuminating your personal spirituality. The 12th house is the natural house for Pisces. So you understand 12th house energy better than any other sign, actually, right? And so the sun is illuminating your soul. It's warming the hidden depths. It's highlighting and illuminating the hidden truths in your life. The sun for you rules your 6th house, right? Which is your physical health and vitality. Maybe you're discovering new ways to get that back. Mercury for you rules your home, family, property, real estate, where you live, how you live there. And Mercury for you also rules your relationships, your significant other, your partner, your loved one. You could have a really powerful realization at this time, maybe more than any other Mercury Cazimi than you've had in a while, because we've just recently had a Pluto Cazimi, right? So this realization that you have it after what's already been a very deep activation. The transit illuminates hidden truths. It's bringing insights into parts of you or your life that maybe felt murky or unresolved, or maybe that you just didn't have the strength or the courage at the time to look at. Not because you're weak, but just because maybe you really just didn't have the capacity for it at the time. Only now it's illuminated to you in a way that just comes almost like a stained glass window and the light shining through, and you're like, holy shit. And it's like, you have this big, powerful realization or some deep understanding where you're able to heal an old wound or release a limiting belief that no longer really serves your growth or enhances your life in some way. And the Cazimi might act as a moment where you feel like a turning point, and it helps you kind of recognize, like, yeah, you know what? I've been holding back, and now it's encouraging you to really take ownership of your intuition and your personal power fully. And then the breakthroughs that come sort of because of this, that you might feel on a really subtle sort of profound, like on a very profound level, but in a really subtle way, if that makes sense. It's kind of like you're going to feel this as like ripples where things just unfold in your life. You've got the 6 of Cups, you've got the 3 of Swords, and you've got the 6 of Wands, right? Like, I'm getting emotional just looking at this because I have someone in my life who's a really dear friend who is a Pisces ascendant. And to see, oh gosh, to see these cards, it feels like the hurt is finally lifting. and the sun is going to shine, and it will be a moment for all of you Pisces, sun, moon and ascendant, where you will be able to look at your past or your history and understand the education that it gave you, right? It's not going to be that you get rid of it, because our past never goes away. But the Three of Swords is cutting away. It's releasing the hurts from the past, which is the sixth house, which is the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is, past memories. And you've got the Six of Wands, right? You become the master or the victor over your history, Pisces. And you are able to move forward in a way that brings two sixes, balance or irritability. This is bringing you balance, and it's also bringing you success. So if you are a Pisces, it brings you the moments of clarity and wisdom and personal power that I think you have needed for a long time. And it sees these things unfold for you in a really beautiful way. So I'm going to stop crying at you now and get back to it. All right. So as we come into the 14th of the month, Valentine's Day, Mercury is going to come into your sign, right? At this point, you will be thinking very clearly. You will be seeing yourself, your life in a real much greater sense of clarity and depth. And Mercury, although it's not, totally happy in the sign of Pisces, this is going to be really good for you, especially because it comes into your sign and it brings that mental thought. Your thoughts are focused on yourself. Your thoughts are focused on communicating your, not just your worth or your value, but you're communicating your emotions, right? Mercury rules your 4th house, your deep emotions. Mercury rules your 7th house, your relationships. You're able to communicate how you feel. If you're partnered, married, or in a long-term commitment, this could be where you and a partner really start to understand each other on a whole new level. If you are single, this could be that you start opening up to the people that you're meeting to go out on dates with, which could be really, really nice, right? And that Mars, heading towards being direct is kind of really pushing you to do that. It's a time for you to let your voice, right, your authentic self really shine through, to let your ideas come forward in a way that really feels like you expressing who you are. Mercury in Pisces is bringing a more imaginative film to life, but it's also helping you on a deep emotional level to see yourself out there in the world doing the things that you want to do. It's highlighting your intuitive capabilities and faculties. It's helping you pick up on those sudden hidden messages and cues from people. And it's like, even with all of that, you're not changing anything about yourself to fit a narrative anymore. While the energy is fluid and dreamy, just take notice of the words that you're using, especially when you're discussing like important matters, because you don't want anyone to misconstrue. But this is, Pisces, like, wow, just look at you, right? Just look at you coming into your own. You got the 5 of Cups. Okay, maybe you're mourning, right? Some lost part of you that, it's like, wow, you know what? That part of me is gone, but look at the new part of me that is evolving out of it. On top of that, you've got the Chariot card. So you're fast moving past the challenges of your history. And then you've got a card that represents you because it's the Hangman. Hangman is Neptune, your modern ruler. I think one thing that I will say to you is, on a really practical level, please, your vehicle, right? If you've got a car, check the fluids. Is the brake fluid topped up? Check the, has it got plenty of oil? Is the coolant in the car okay, right? Coolant in particular, I'm going to say to you, like, if you notice any niggles with your car this month, please check the coolant. Check the oil. This is a time to check all of those things. Even if you've just recently had a service, I would still like you to do all of these things, right? Just humour me. At worst, you've wasted, 10 minutes? At best, you've caught something before it's an issue. But also, this is you, especially with the Chariot card, this is you really finding a way to meet life on its own terms in a way that feels empowering to you, All right, like, love that, just absolutely love that. And then finally on the 23rd of the month, Venus at 10 degrees of Aries, and that's where she's going to go retrograde on the 2nd of March, is going to sextile the other benefic planet, Jupiter, in the sign of Gemini in your 4th house. This is really good news that's coming in for you. You know, potentially financial news that comes in. So we love that for you, right? As if that wasn't enough, you've also got Mars now, which is coming into a trine with Mercury, right? So, and I wanted to highlight both of these because they felt really important and I couldn't choose between the two. So I was like, you know what, just choose them both. Venus in Aries is slowing down in that 2nd house of money, finances, resources, self-worth, values. In a sextile, though, to Jupiter in your 4th house of home and family and deep emotional outlook. This connection brings opportunities for growth in your material resources, in your money, honey, and your emotional foundations. It's helping you find, like, or just go after some kind of financial or emotional stability, especially when it involves creating a more harmonious home environment or aligning your values with your goals, and maybe discovering what that means to you. Well, and then Mars, literally this is the day before Mars goes retrograde, the 23rd of Feb, because the 24th Mars goes direct, is a trine to Mercury in your 1st house. This is where you're able to really, it's like you're creating almost like a seamless connection between your self-expression and your sense of identity, like who you are out in the world. It's a time for you to turn your creative or romantic ideas into actions. This is where you've got to do something with the energy, whether it's a passion project, a new financial opportunity, maybe a new dating romance coming into your life, honey. Maybe you are, you know, if you're partnered already, this could be that you're deepening that bond with your partner. And this energy really supports your ability to bring whatever your inner visions are out into the world, into reality. For this, you've got the 4 of Wands. Of course you do, right? With the Queen of Wands. I love this. And the 9 of Wands, right? So 4 of Wands with the Queen of Wands. That's not only good news that comes in, but it's also like a benefactor. There's someone who's working or acting as an ally here for you that really comes through for you. You've got the Queen of Wands with the 9 of Wands. This is where I think a lot of you Pisces are going to lay down some kind of boundary or potentially set the record straight in some regard. And it may sort of raise an eyebrow or two, right? Because, you know, Pisces doesn't usually do massive confrontation or whatever, but this might be one of those times where you are like, and it's all fire, right? This is all wands. There's no getting around this. So action is required, and it looks like you'll be taking some big action. And I kind of feel like when you do, everyone might be like, needle scratch, what the fuck just happened there? Do you know what I mean? You just kind of go in and like let everybody have the business, like fucking I'm here for it. Pisces, you better get out here and get yours, okay? For the full moon, we've got, should I say, a full moon in the sign of Leo. That for you represents your 6th house, your daily routines, your work, your physical health and vitality. The full moon is a time of revelation, a time of revealing where, you know, something's illuminated to us that we didn't see before. So the moon is your needs. The sun is like your obligations in the external world. This is the internal, the moon. And then this is setting up what we call a fixed T-square, right? And the planet that plays the anchor or the bucket, or the anchor as I like to call it, this is the way through. And so in the 3rd house, this might be some kind of shocking or disruptive communication that comes in, like you're going about your business in your day-to-day routine, and then you get like some crazy letter or email or phone call, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, I have no idea what to do with that. It could also be like the energy forces you to confront what's not working in your routines and how those patterns might now actually be holding you back. The full moon is definitely going to like knock you out of any complacency that you've got. I'm just going to say that much. Potentially bringing or shining a light to where change is overdue. Right, it's in a square to that Uranus, right, in the third house. There's no getting around this. It's maybe releasing old habits or patterns, maybe getting, like, because your third house is also your workflow, like how you do your work on a daily basis, how you use your, any technology or skills that you've got. Might also be finding a balance between your productivity and your creativity. And also, and remember, because Uranus for you rules that 12th house, right? So this could be something that's coming back up for adjustment, or maybe even to help you find a healthier, more sort of aligned daily experience. So for this, you've got the gate 8 and contribution. I like this because it's basically a message from the universe to say, like, you have something to share with the world and your contribution is just as important as everybody else's. So it's time for you to put that out into the world. And you've got to start making that putting something out into the world a daily practice. And for those of you that are Pisces moons, I'm talking directly to you. Yes, you know who you are. No shade, babe. You know I love you. All right. And then on the 28th of the month, you've got the sun in the sign of Pisces in your sign, and the moon, this is a new moon, you've got a fresh start in your first house. Right? This is helping you solidify a new sense of identity and self. It's helping you go through a personal reset in some regard, encouraging you to step into that new sense of self, that new sense of purpose. The square to Jupiter, right? There's no getting around that. It might be that some change that you're trying to make or some direction that you're choosing to take, it highlights something in the fourth house. It could be a family member. It could be your living situation is clashing with this, right? Something that you really want for yourself is, maybe a family member says like, oh, well, why are you doing that? Like, that's ridiculous. Or, maybe the energy pushes you to break free from a comfort zone, to redefine like who you are outside of other people's expectations, especially those of family. The moon is, it's creating the right energy for you to set intentions for yourself. How do you want to show up in the world? How do you want to take charge of the narrative of your life to align your goals or your visions with the future in some way? That square to Jupiter is not going to be easy because Jupiter is your ancient ruler, right? So this is, it's like you're being checked by yourself, if anything, at that deep emotional level to say, shit, okay, people are showing up in my life to tell me this, this, and this, and I don't like it. And that means that there's something about the decisions that I've made for and about myself up until this point that are no longer helpful. Oh, shit. Okay, this is like hilarious because this card, the Gate 39 and Provocation, this is literally where somebody gives us the challenge and says something to us that makes us go, no, fuck that. I'm not having that experience again, right? And it's so crazy because the square, if you've been with me long enough, you've heard me say this about a square in astrology loads of times. A square in astrology is an energy of friction. And it basically creates a situation that you have to respond to where you say, no, you know what? Squares encourage action. Trines are lovely and sextiles are great. I'm not going to say that they're not. We all want trines and sextiles. However, squares are the energy that really create change because it creates an experience for you where you kind of say, right, fuck that, I'm not having that experience again. No way. And it makes you sort of make a change on a really powerful level. I totally forgot to say, if you want to study tarot with me for 12 weeks, you get live classes, you get live client demo. As if that wasn't enough, you're going to get more PDFs than you can shake a stick at. It's on a brand new platform. So it's a lot more streamlined. Quite frankly, I'm very proud of this course anyway. It's a course that I absolutely love to deliver, and it's just getting better and better with time. It's 12 weeks. You get 2 Q&As, live Q&As, I might add. As if that wasn't enough, as I say, you get all of the other extras, you get bonus videos. If you want to study tarot with me at the level that takes you from beginner right through to pretty much, I would say, just beyond intermediate, it will give you everything that you need to do all of that and more. And with that said, yeah, if you want to study with me, stay tuned. You're going to be seeing this all over my socials, on the YouTube community tab. I will be announcing it here officially on YouTube as well. So either which way, happy damn birthday to you, Pisces. It looks like it's going to be a very good year for you guys, or a very good month as well, of change and clarity and all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.